Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Sandra's Stenography and Shorthand Dictation. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing, listening, sharing, commenting, all that good stuff that you do to support the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe today. And if you have not checked out my podcast, please do so as well at Let's Write Steno on all the major podcast players if that's something that you're interested in. I'm just offering another genre and another way for you to consume your dictation. So check that out. Let's see here. Oh, and the podcast is on Anchor FM, and you can support with listener support for 99 cents a month. You can also support both of these ways of me giving you dictation by going on YouTube and to and hitting the PayPal button where you can donate any amount if you would like to continue to see me bring you more content, more great content at that. All right, so guys, tonight I have something very short that we're going to run through. You can pretty much use this as a warm up. You can use this as practice. You can use this any way you like. It's just a different type of dictation than I normally do. So let's have fun with it. This is called The Queen Bee, and this is a short story. I'll probably be reading this somewhere between, I'd say, 80 and 100 words per minute. So, you beginners who are around 60 words per minute and trying to achieve 80 can use this, or you can use this for practice, or even warm up is even great. I think I'll be using these for warm ups myself. Ready? That's right. In five, four, three, two, one. Two kings' sons once upon a time went into the world to seek their fortunes, but they soon fell into a wasteful, foolish way of living, so that they could not return home again. Then their brother, who was a little insignificant dwarf, went to seek for his brothers. But when he had found them, they only laughed at him to think that he, who was so young and simple, should try to travel through the world when they, who were so much wiser, had been unable to get on. However, they all set out on their journey together and came at last to an ant hill. The two elder brothers would have pulled it down in order to see how the poor ants in their fight would run about and carry off their eggs. But the little dwarf said, quote, "Let the poor things enjoy themselves. I will not suffer you to trouble them." Close quote. So on they went and came to a lake where many ducks were swimming about. The two brothers wanted to catch two and roast them, but the dwarf said, quote, "Let the poor things enjoy themselves. You shall not kill them." Close quote. Next, they came to a bee's nest in a hollow tree, and there was so much honey that it ran down the trunk, and the two brothers wanted to light a fire under the tree and kill the bees so as to get their honey. But the dwarf held them back and said, quote, "Let the pretty insects enjoy themselves. I cannot let you burn them." Close quote. At length the three brothers came to a castle, and as they passed by the stables, they saw fine horses standing there, but, but all were of marble, and no man was to be seen. Then they went through all the rooms till they came to a door on which were three locks. But in the middle of the door was a wicket, so that they could look into the next room. There they saw a little gray old man sitting at a table, and they called to him once or twice, but he did not hear. However, they called a third time, and then he rose and came out to them. He said nothing, but he took hold of them and led them to a beautiful table covered with all sorts of good things. And when they had eaten and drunk, he showed them each to a bedchamber. The next morning he came to the eldest and took him to a marble table where there were three tablets containing an account of the means by which the castle might be disenchanted. The first tablet said, "In the wood under the moss lie the 1,000 pearls belonging to the king's daughter. They must all be found, and if one be missing by set of sun, he who seeks them will be turned into marble." The eldest brother set out and sought for the pearls the whole day, but the evening came, and he had not found the first 100. So he was turned into stone, as the tablet had foretold. The next day the second brother undertook the task, but he succeeded no better than the first, for he could only find the second 100 of pearls, and therefore he too was turned into stone. At last came the little dwarf's turn, and he looked in the moss, but it was so hard to find the pearls, and the job was so tiresome. So he sat down upon a stone and cried. And as he sat there, the king of the ants, whose life he had saved, came to help him with 5,000 ants. And it was not long before they had found all the pearls and laid them in a heap. The second tablet said, "The key of the princess's bedchamber must be fished up out of the lake." And as the dwarf came to the brink of it, he saw the two ducks whose lives he had saved swimming about, and they dived down and soon brought in the key from the bottom. The third task was the hardest. It was to choose out the youngest and the best of the king's three daughters. Now, they were all beautiful and all exactly alike, but he was told that the eldest had eaten a piece of sugar, the next some sweet syrup, and the youngest a spoonful of honey. so he was to guess which it was that had eaten the honey. Then came the queen of the bees, who had been saved by the little dwarf from the fire, and she tried the lips of all three. But at last she sat upon the lips of the one who had eaten the honey, and so the dwarf knew which was the youngest. Thus the spell was broken, and all who had been turned into stones awoke and took their proper forms. And the dwarf married the youngest and the best of the princesses, and was king after her father's death. But his two brothers married the other two sisters. That was 8 minutes, and I think a great warm up. Let me know if you like this little thing I did here, this little short story, and I'll bring you more of them. Give me a like, thumbs up, leave me a comment underneath the video, and I will be happy to bring you more warm ups such as this. Thanks, guys, for joining me as always. Have a great one. Love, peace, and steno, and be safe. See you at the next video. Bye.